poppin', my J dolls, and I'm back with another video. Before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that bell. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so don't play with us because we ain't never been one of them. And if you ain't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It is free 99. And if you still don't subscribe, you a hater. Tell that with your mama, because why she raised you like that? Period. So today I'm actually going to talk to y'all about a topic that's weighing heavy on my chest, and I feel like I'm divinely guided to give y'all this message because I have experienced this and I really want to get this out there. So I'm probably going to title this in some type of sort about, if you are thinking about moving, you need to move. You need to move to grow and to transform. Something in the sense of that. So if you're thinking about moving out of state, you need to just do it. You need to just do it. Like Nike, you need to just do it. Okay? So I've sat on this a lot, personally. I've sat on this a lot because I really do feel like when you move out of your comfort zone, when you get comfortable with being uncomfortable, that's when you experience so many shifts. And maybe the shifts are not always the best. Maybe they hurt a little bit. Maybe it's kind of scary. Or maybe it's kind of lonely because you don't know anyone. But it teaches you a lot about yourself. Like, it teaches you a lot about who you are, how you make yourself feel, how you can be alone, and also helps you grow because you're uncomfortable. So you have to start getting comfortable. You got to start learning new areas. You got to start learning new things. You got to start meeting new people. Your mind just opens up. And in my head, it's like your third eye just opens up because you can think on a deeper level because of the isolation. Like, you know, when you're in a state or where you're somewhere where you're so used to everything and you're used to the people, it's like you're always on go. It's like you got plans with this person, you got plans with this person, you got to do this, you got to do that. I feel like when you separate yourself from the knowing and you go into the unknown, and like, let's say you move to a different state, you don't have a plan in your head like, oh my God, today is Saturday, like I'm going to hang out with this friend, because you don't have any friends in that state. Like, if you're moving to a state where you don't know anyone, you don't have any friends. So then you have to tap into like your hobbies. Like, maybe you go on an Eventbrite and you go find an event. Like, okay, it's Saturday, like it'll be fun if I just take myself to this event. Maybe I'll make friends through here. Maybe I join a club, like a run club. Maybe I join a book club. Maybe I might go to an event. Maybe I'll go to an open mic. Maybe I might go and just do things by myself. Maybe I'll go to the bar and sit at the bar by myself, take myself to dinner. And then this opens up literally space for new people and new opportunities. And I think sometimes we get so used to the old that we don't even understand sometimes we outgrow the old. So me personally, like in my environment, I outgrew everybody. Like when it came to my friends, I literally now have a clean slate. Like all my old friends that I grew up with, we're no longer friends. And at first I was thinking like, why is this? God, like, why did I lose all my friends? Why I'm so lonely? Why I don't have friends? And then I really learned it was because I'm not supposed to have those friends. Those friends were good back then in that moment, in that time in my life, in that cycle of my life, because I could connect to those friends. I could relate to those friends. We had a lot of things in common. Even when it comes to trauma, we had a trauma bond as well. But now I've grown. I got to know myself, y'all. I went through therapy. I've done self-help books. I am not perfect, but I am self-aware. Like, I know what things I've done wrong in the past. I know what things I still do wrong. I know what things I need to work on. I know what things that, like, I'm great at, what things I'm not so good at. I know me. And back then I didn't know myself. And I also was hanging around people that didn't know themselves. So now that I have become more self-aware, and I have so many goals, and I'm so motivated, and I'm so in the positive space that I can't have negativity around, I've outgrown a lot of my friends. And I was like, why? Like, God, why don't have any friends? Why have I not been in a relationship? Like, I used to be in relationships back to back to back. Mind you, I did also lose a lot of weight if you're new to this channel. So, like, I have changed so much that I couldn't have the same people around me, right? So I think also this was God's plan of like getting me isolated so I could be ready for my move. So I can be in another state and feel comfortable being by myself. Because literally right now, I be in my house by myself vibing. I don't just hang out with friends a lot. Like, I do have a newer friend that I do hang out with more often now. And I do have my, like, close, like, business friends, you know, that I see here and there. But I don't have people that I'm with all the time that I have to have plans every weekend. Like I used to, like, maybe a year ago. Like, we will always be out. We will always have something to do. Like, we will always be eating out and stuff. Like, no. Now I've been, like, in solitude. And it feels great. Like, I feel good with myself and within myself. I've faced myself. If you don't feel good alone, it's probably time to face yourself, which I just did a podcast episode on that. I don't know which video will be up, this or that one first. But I just did a podcast on that about don't settle. Don't settle because you're lonely. That's probably going to be the title of that one. Don't settle because you're lonely. So if you don't know how to be alone, it's a good opportunity to challenge yourself to get prepared to be alone, especially if you're preparing to move. Personally, me, y'all, I am moving. I'm moving to San Antonio, Texas. I've told people this, like, last year I was going to move. People like, oh, are you really moving? Yes. The thing about me is, like, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Like, I remember a guy I used to date. He was like, dang, I remember when I left, because he was like an engineer. So he literally got paid to just move to different places, work there for a little bit, and they pay him, and he moved to a different state. And he was fine because he was a bachelor. You know what I mean? So it's like, I remember when I moved the last time, you said when you got out of college, you're going to have a brand new car, you were going to have your own apartment, and you were going to have a career. And then I came back the next year, and you had everything you said you were going to have. And I thought it was so crazy that he even remembered that, because we were talking, but it was like a casual thing. And it was like not so much time. So I'm like, dang, you really remember I said this? And then he awakened me like, whoa, I did do what I said I was going to do. I always do what I say I'm going to do. And that is how manifestation can become real. Like, when you really manifest, right, and know that you're going to be there and you're going to be okay. Like, you're literally going to be okay. If you can survive in where you're at now, when you move, you're going to be okay. You're going to figure it out. And you're going to have to figure it out because you're on your own. I think it pushes you and challenges you to make your own decisions, stand on your decisions, figure your life out without having to depend on others. Like, I've never been a dependent type of person, but maybe someone watching may be dependent. And this will force you to literally make your own decisions and feel good that you can do it, right? Another thing is, I am a true believer that sometimes family and friends can hold you back. And calming environments that you're used to can hold you back, because when you're raised in a certain place, you might be afraid to try new things. Like, you might have certain talents that you don't even want to display because you worried about what this person think, what that person think, who you grew up with, who gonna see you here, who gonna see you there. Because I know for me personally, I live in Minnesota, but I grew up in a small neighborhood where even if I still go to that neighborhood, I don't live in that neighborhood anymore, but if I go to that neighborhood and I go to the store, I'm going to see somebody I know. If I go shop in that area, I'm going to see somebody I know. So there's a lot of neighborhoods like that if you don't live in a huge city, where you run into people you know. So it's like, you don't feel comfortable, like, being, let's say you want to be a content creator, you don't feel comfortable recording out at the restaurants, recording when you go shopping, having people see you record. Or maybe you are a singer or a rapper or an artist, and then you're nervous to do open mics because you don't know what if somebody else sees you up there and doesn't think you're good. I think when you move to a different state, you don't care. You don't know anyone there. You can take the most risk. Even moving out of state is a risk. It is a risk. And I think every risk is bound to have a reward. It's going to be rocky. Risks are rocky when they first start off. But if you don't take a risk, it's very hard to elevate. If you keep doing the same things, you're most likely going to get the same results. You're going to be like, if you're doing the same, it's going to be like this. If you are like pushing and pushing and pushing, you're going to get somewhere eventually. Like, when you're in the gym and you're pushing and pushing and pushing, you're going to eventually see some definition in your muscles, okay? You're going to eventually see some numbers off the scale. If you keep pushing, you're going to see something. Like, that is the biggest thing, is like when you just keep doing the same stuff. being in the same places, doing the same things, hanging with the same people, you're going to get the same results. You have to change. You have to change to see change in your life. So with moving, it really pushes you not only to change your environment. When you change your environment, you got to get to know your area. You got to get to know the spots you go to. It's actually exciting. I don't know about y'all, but for me personally, I like change. That's why I have a hard time staying at jobs like for longer than a 2-year time span. I like change. I like growth. I like elevation. I do not like being stagnant. I don't like making the same amount of money every year. I don't like being in the same position every year. I don't like wearing the same clothes every year. I like change because I don't like to get comfortable. I always strive for more. And for me personally, I've always wanted to move, but I kept saying, oh, I'm going to do it. And I had asked God, like, if you want me to move to Texas, show me a sign. Like I've said this in other videos, but show me something that is not a license plate. But show it clear as day. Like, show it clear as day, but not a license plate. I will not take a license plate. And the next day I went to work, I seen a Texas driver's license. Just the license, because I signed somebody up for a credit card. That was back when I was in retail management. Mind you, that was over 2 years ago when I seen it. And I'm like, okay, it's time to move. Like, God told me this 2 years ago, and I have literally just been living the same life with these same people. And it's time for me to get out there because I have to get away from my friends. I have to get away from my family. You know what I mean? And the biggest reasons why I have to get away from my family is because their opinion really dictated a lot of stuff for me growing up. They were very negative. That's going to be a whole nother video like about my throat chakra. If y'all want to watch that, that's going to be coming soon. But anyways, they were very negative about my talents, like not thinking I was good enough, not thinking I was capable. And they still question me a lot. Like, y'all did my own hair and literally everybody was concerned if I was going to be able to do it. And look at it. Like, I am a creative. And now I don't need validation from my family. I do not need validation from my friends. I need to validate myself and truthfully believe in myself and push myself. And I feel like in a different state, you guys, when you're moving, you only have yourself to validate yourself. You only have you to feel confident, to feel like I can do this. I am going to thrive. It's just like a new feeling. You know when you get a new apartment, you get a new car, you get a new job, that level of excitement that pushes you to feel motivated. Stop making excuses. What is holding you back? What is holding you back? A lot of people that are trying to make this decision don't even have children. If you don't have children, why are you thinking about it? What is the worst thing can happen? The worst thing can happen is you got to move back. Or you don't like it. Move back then. Like, you're going to move back to a familiar state. You know how that familiar state works. You know how to get an apartment there if you need to get an apartment back home. You know how to get a job back home. You've been there. You know, you have family back home. The worst happens is you have to come back. And if you got to come back, you can either come back and get a new place, or you can come back and stay with family temporarily. You never fail. Everything is a lesson. You never fail. The only failures are people that literally don't try. The only failures are people that literally don't believe in themselves. That's the only way you fail. That's the only way you fail. And the only one you can fail is yourself. Who cares what people think? Who cares if people think you fail? Who cares if people think, oh my gosh, she moved back? Who cares? The whole point is getting out of the mindset of validation. So, for me, I'm ready to go. I've actually gotten really comfortable here, y'all, with being outside the box, even when people think it's weird. I go around walking with my camera with my family now. I take my camera out all the time. I vlog in the stores. I vlog at the restaurants. I just do it now. Like, I just don't care. I'm at the point, it's like, if you want to be an influencer, a content creator, start acting like it. Is a content creator, influencer going to be scared when people looking at them crazy outside? No, they know they got to make that coin. They know they got to make that money. They're not going to have you stop them filming because you're looking crazy. That's a personal issue. That's not their issue. Even me, y'all, I've been going to open mics. and I'll be going in spaces where I get on the mic and I'm literally doing my poetry. That took a lot for me to get out there and do that because of my family's ideals of me. And it took me a lot to be comfortable in these environments. But now I'm just already started taking baby steps. God already got me a little isolated and limit my friend group, okay? And then God got me like pushed to like try new things. Like I've tried open mic, y'all. I've tried new workout classes, y'all. I've tried like the vlogging outside. I've done so many new things, even in my same city, that I am ready now for my new city. When I get to my new city, y'all, nothing's gonna stop me. I don't know these people. I don't know them from a can of paint. I'm gonna go to open mics. I'm gonna do poetry. I'm going to go to different workout classes. That is how I'm gonna make friends. Actually, that is how I'm gonna build communities. And even I've done that in Minnesota, and I've tapped into a whole new art community, like a whole new, very supportive community that I would have never known if I just didn't try something new. And so putting myself out here is already, God has already shown me like this is the key to my elevation. And whoever's watching this that have been thinking about it, this is your key for your elevation. Most people's life, when they move, their lives change. Most people's lives change for the better. There's some people's life that is a lesson for them because maybe they weren't ready. Maybe they're not as independent. Maybe they're not as a hustler. Like I have a hustle mindset. Maybe they wasn't equipped for it. But majority of people have to move to then see a huge change. Like I think back to my mother. When me and my mother moved to Minnesota, and me and my mother and my brother, we eventually had to, because we used to live in North Carolina, y'all, but I've been here since I was 13, so I've been here for a very long time. We had to move in a homeless shelter. We had to move in a homeless shelter, and there's some people that literally, when they move out of state and stuff, sometimes they do have to move in a homeless shelter. Sometimes they do have to sleep in their car. If I tell you to do that, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying this has happened to some people. And what happens to them after they go through this rough patch, it's like a lotus coming out of the ground. The growth. Y'all, the way that my mom grew from this, like she literally had to be taken out of that environment to now be so healthy, to now be so happy, to now be so abundant. And I talked to her about that like, wow, if we would have never moved, if I was in the South, if y'all know anything, I come from the countryside of the South, Dudley. Nobody in my family graduated college. Like, I'm the only one in my family that has graduated college. So, if I would have stayed in North Carolina, I would have never gone to college. I would have never had a career corporate job. I would have probably had about 2-3 babies by now. Because the norm there was literally to get up, get a high school diploma, walk up and down the streets, get a regular job, and have kids. Get a husband maybe. If that, if you're lucky enough. The goal wasn't to be ambitious. The goal there wasn't to be a business owner, be like a boss, work in a corporate job, make 6 figures. That was not even a thought in North Carolina. North Carolina, the education system was terrible. If we never moved to Minnesota, I would have never had the opportunity. I would never have a luxury apartment, a dog. I probably would have a dog. I ain't gonna lie, because North Carolina is very doggy. But like, a luxury apartment, an electric car, like, elevating in my life, owning things, like, that wouldn't have never been the thing for me. I would have been somebody's baby mama. And if you are in an environment that is no growth in that environment, you then become stuck. So for you to grow, you got to go. For you to grow, you got to go. And if you're watching this, it's because you really do yearn to move out of state. And you might be going there alone. But you will literally find your divine counterparts. You will literally find your soul tribes by doing what you love. Stick within your purpose. When you're moving, stick within your purpose. When you get there, what do you enjoy? What do you love? Start pouring into that. Start pouring into that. This time is now yours. You don't have obligations. I feel like here, another reason why I'm moving to Texas, guys, is I have a lot of obligations here. I have little cousins that want me to come get them every other weekend. Every weekend they're calling me. And I feel that guilt, like, oh man, I should get them. I should go get them. I should do these things. I have my goddaughter. I also want to spend a lot of time with her. I got my friends. And I spend time with my friends. I got my friends' businesses that we're trying to grow together. I've got her workshops and events I want to go support. I have pop-up shops I got to do. I have content create. I have a 9 to 5. I have too much stuff here. That if and when, not if. What am I talking about? Yeah, I'm moving like ASAP, actually very, very soon. But when I get to Texas, y'all, when I get to Texas, I will not have any obligations besides my dog and my job and my content creation. That's it. That's it. My dog, my content creation, and maybe my job. I don't even know if I'm going to be working this job anymore. So, y'all, I literally am going to be in such a clean slate where I'm focused. Moving out of state will help you focus. Getting away from distractions will help you focus. It will help you feel driven. It's going to help you feel motivated. It's going to help you on the path of what you are going towards your purpose. It's stop letting people's ideas scare you. Because there's either two things. A lot of people say don't tell people your plans, because if you tell people your plans, they can have ill intent. They can be like, you know, evil eye-ish and all that type of stuff. I do believe in that. But when you believe that you are divinely protected, I don't think any of it works. I do think that people's negative energy can slow your process. I don't think it can stop your process. Because I have a lot of evil eye bitches, okay, really waiting for me to fail, really waiting and hoping and trying to mix up and pot up and do all this stuff. But it ain't gonna work every time. You could waste your time, your energy, but all you're doing is sending karmatic energy to yourself, you know? So that will not stop you. But if you are one person that will get discouraged by people's opinions, do not tell people then. They're like, oh, well, maybe you should think about it. Oh, why is this? Why is that? They will literally just put so much negative energy on it because they don't believe in themselves. When people don't believe in themselves, they will push that energy on you. Like, I remember telling my brother about my apartment, how much I pay for my apartment. I do get what he said. I get where he's coming from. But my new apartment in San Antonio, Texas, babe, is booked and solidified and sealed, babe. I have my apartment. I already got it. Already ready to go. I tell him the amount of it, and he's like, why are you paying that much for rent? It's San Antonio, Texas. You should get something cheaper. If you're going to the south, why would you do that? Blase, blase, blase. You should do that. You should go somewhere else. And then I'm like, well, I get what you're saying, because that's kind of when I thought when I visited, like, okay, this place is kind of expensive, but you get what you pay for. I'm a firm believer that you get what you pay for. I've been cheap on my apartment before, and it had mice in it. If y'all want to see that story time, y'all can check my YouTube channel here. I have a story time on it. It was infested with mice because I want to be cheap. I'm not doing that in the South. Like, I found the place that I like. I felt the spiritual feeling. Y'all know that when you're spiritual, you know that feeling that you get when you know something is yours and it's supposed to be yours. I visit so many places during my trip in Austin, in San Antonio, and the place that I visit, I felt like, oh my gosh, this is my place. Like, I wanted to cry, like, oh my God, I'm going to be living here. Like, this is beautiful. The neighborhood's amazing. This is my place. Like, I literally felt like I was going to have tears. I didn't even get approved yet. And I went around telling my family, like, oh yeah, my new apartment has this. My new apartment's by that. And they're like, ah, your new apartment. Like, you ain't even get it yet. And that's the negative I talk about with my family. Is very negative. Like, very negative. And I get it because I understand their trauma and like how they grew up. But babe, I knew I got it already. And guess what, y'all? I got it. So honestly, I got approved It's my place. I knew it was my place when I walked it. I felt it in my spirit. I love the team that works there. The property manager, super nice. I just felt like this is where I'm supposed to be. Okay? And I feel like that is what I deserve. So if you do feel like other people's opinions are going to affect you in your move, don't tell people. Just do it. Don't make an overly long, people's like, oh my gosh, you need to save. You need to make sure you have this. You need to make sure you have that. Babe, I'm sorry. This is 2025. It is very hard to save. Have a plan, yes. But don't feel like you have to be above and beyond. Okay, most places do have like rent promotions, like where you get 1 month rent for free, 2 months rent for free. At my place, it's 1 month rent for free, and then the second month $500 off. So right there, that's already enough to help you save some money. Okay, and then the time frame that I picked is around tax season, so I know I'm gonna have taxes back. And I know I have some little dividle there, doodle there. You know what I mean? And I'm selling all of my furniture, guys, because I'm a true believer now. Like, when I start fresh and new, like, on the spiritual journey that I'm on, I just want new everything. Like, I don't want nothing old from my place but my TV. So, I have a lot of expensive furniture. Like, I don't know who I thought I was before, but I was spending money on money, and racks on racks on racks. But back then, I didn't have no rent, no bills. So, I have heck of furniture that's in good condition that I have to sell. So I have that money too. Like, of course, have some small things, but don't think, oh my gosh, I have to have $5,000 to move. Like, I have to have this many thousands. Like, people will literally trick you and be like, oh, you need to have like 3 times your rent or something just in case. Like, did you do that when you moved into your apartment in the city that you're living? You're going to be fine. You're going to be cool. Oh, period. Oh, Mary had a little lamb. Stop letting people get in your head. Now, number 2, if you're not the type to let people get in your head, then tell them, I'm going to be doing this. Oh, I'm going to live in this apartment. I'm going to drive this type of car. People get mad about this. Like, people literally get mad about your manifestations because they can't manifest because they're so freaking negative. We all have the ability to manifest the life we want. So, stop making excuses on why you can't move, why you can't live this new abundant life, why your life will just not flourish. Stop all the negative talk and switch up your environment, because your environment could be holding you back. And like I said, if you're watching this, that means you are interested in moving to another state. And just remember, what is the worst that can happen? What is the worst that can happen? I just got the shivers when I got that message. What is the worst that can happen? Get up, go. If you're young, get up, go. Yeah, I'm 28. I'm almost 29. I told myself that if I don't move by 30, it's not going to happen. So I've been said, if I don't move by 30, it's not going to happen. Literally, when you say something, mean it. Feel it. Keep doing it. Because I remember when I used to drive past this apartment, which I'm going to do a full apartment tour right before I leave and get that up. Like, I've done an apartment tour when I first moved in, but I'm going to do a whole new tour of this place and show y'all the amenities, show y'all downstairs, show y'all the whole apartment, because I won't be living here no more. So y'all can see that, like, I used to see this as my dream place. I used to drive here and say, I'm going to live there one day. I'm going to live there one day. I'm going to live there one day. And people thought I was nuts. When I came on the tour here, when my place got infested with mice, I said, baby, I got to go. I don't know how I'm going to go, but I'm getting out of here. I don't know how I'm going to leave, but I got to go. And they said, oh, how about we just let you break your lease without any penalties? Perfect. Like, literally, things just work out for you. Remember this. I forgot who said this, but there's a creator that made this. But no matter how it looks at any given time, things work out for me no matter how it looks at any given point of time. Things work out for me no matter how it looks at any given point or time. I didn't know how I was going to move out there, but I knew I wasn't going to stay there another day. I literally got to move out of there. I literally applied for this place, got approved within the same day. But I almost had limited beliefs because I was like, can I afford this place? It looks so nice. It's probably like this amount of money. When I came here, I'm like, oh, I can afford this. I have the funds. I have the salary for this. I meet the requirements. Approved. Your thoughts limit you. Not the reality. Your thoughts limit you. Your thoughts create your reality. It's time to think. It's time to think big, bitch. Why you thinking small, bitch? It's time to think big, bitch. Okay? Point blank and period. period. But that's my little TED talk. To move, it is time to shift. Yes, I am moving. Yes, I will be having moving content, so make sure you subscribe, y'all. I'm moving to San Antonio, Texas very shortly, very soon. Like I said, I got monitoring spirits watching my channel, and I mean people in real life. So that's why I haven't gave a date yet. So y'all gonna know very, very soon, but just know it's very, very soon. And when it's very, very soon, you're gonna see all the content of me moving vlog coming soon. Packing vlog is actually probably coming pretty soon, like maybe next week or the following week, because I've already started packing, but I just need to pack some more, like a lot more stuff. Okay, and then I gotta start getting stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Baby, it's happening. Like, I told people it's gonna happen. People are like, oh my God, you really for real? Like, oh my gosh, you said that last week. My job, in my journal, I just was writing in my journal the other day, like revisiting my journaling thoughts. And in June, I wrote that I could see myself moving to Texas. I could see myself doing this and this and that. June. And I'm really moving to Texas. Like, I don't even be remembering some things that I write, or like things that I say, or visions and stuff. I just like write them in a journal, and then I go back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I said this and it's happening. Like, we are the true manifestors, and we create our own reality. When we trust in God and trust in ourselves and are obedient to the process, amazing things happen. So I am wishing you guys an abundant year. It's 2025. Start planning your life. Start believing that it can happen. Start trusting yourself. Start understanding yourself. Start letting your thoughts overpower people's negative thoughts. Start really not validating what people think of your life. And just do it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.